Okay, good day. I hope you guys are well. I've not really done much YouTube videos, so I'm fairly inexperienced in this, and the level of technology that I use to record the video is literally an iPad. So apologies for the sound and my presentation. So this video is on how I modded my Stratocaster to be a little bit more versatile. I'll give you a little bit of background. I do jam nights quite a lot. I like the jam nights. You can just turn up, play. It's different every night. You don't necessarily need to rehearse anything. And do you know what? We have a bit of a laugh. There's loads of guys I know there. We have a few beers, we play some stuff, and it's all good. What I was finding though is the Strat wasn't really cutting through sonically. It was very, 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 very quiet and a bit thin. Now I'm usually a Les Paul player, and never really have that problem with Les Pauls. However, I don't like taking the Les Paul to the jam nights, and the reason is because I use Les Pauls for things like rock and hard rock and classic rock and heavy blues, that kind of thing. When I go to the jam night, I play better if I'm playing kind of like light blues or funk. And to me personally, I don't feel that my Les Paul is that good at it. Also, I'm a lot more expressive actually on this guitar, and I'm not going to say harder to play, it's a little bit more of a fight. And what I actually find myself doing is slowing down and hopefully making better note choices in the live situation or in the live context. So I found that this guitar wasn't hugely versatile to do all the bits and pieces that I wanted. So it had 3 single coils, and as you can see, I've changed them for 2 humbuckers. You're like, Jim, why are you going to 2 humbuckers on a Strat when you want to play light blues and jazz? But the answer is fairly simple. I wanted a guitar that was versatile, that I could take to any jam night or any rehearsal or whatever, and get a variety of tones that are usable and will cut through. And if the worst comes to the worst, you can just put it to humbuckers and you're good to go. Easy, you might think. Turns out that doing this mod was an absolute freaking headache. So I'll go from switching, pickup choice, and then we'll go through the modes, and tradition would have it that I would do some tones to show you, what's going on. I'll explain a little bit, a tiny bit, I won't bore you, about, I'll try not to bore you, you're probably bored already. I'll go through the rig that I'm using, my setup at home. Okay, there's a super switch in there. It's a Fender super switch, so if you don't know what one of those is, go online, check it out. It gives you an array of switching options, more than your standard 5-way Strat switch would. This tone control is not in the circuit whatsoever. This is a master tone control, obviously a master volume. That's simple. The order of the pickups, I'll talk about the pickups first. So they are a bare knuckle Abraxas set, 4 conductor wiring in brushed nickel. Very pretty. So the order of switching is, position 1 is full humbucker. Position 2 is the outer coils in parallel. Position 3 would be the inner coils in parallel. Position 4 is full humbucker on the neck, and position 5 is a split, it's a coil split. Coil tap, pseudo single coil, whatever's your gravy. This gives me a whole bunch of different sounds and different options that you wouldn't necessarily get from a normal Strat. Maybe you wouldn't necessarily think of, and it negates the need for a third pickup. and this is how it's going to sound. So my pedal board is, there's two items on my pedal board. One is a Victory V4 Sheriff preamp pedal, and the other is a Line 6 Helix effects. So there's no preamps or modelling in there at all, it is just the effects side of the Helix system. The Victory preamp is in a loop in the Helix, and that gives me the ability to put like boosts or like the Tube Screamer type effects before it, and then I can run modulations and delays and reverbs after. I won't go into that too much because it's all very techy and a bit dull. The important thing is that it sounds okay. That then goes into the front end of a Blackstar Artisan 30, which has been my favourite amp for a long time. A bit unreliable, has a tendency to sometimes be a bit noisy, and I'm sure it has moods. Some days it behaves itself, and other days it's a bit of a pig. Not something I'll take to a gig, not something I'll take to rehearsal or a session or whatever. I actually use a separate Marshall rig for that kind of thing. But when I go to the jam nights, I just use the house gear. Just take a guitar and a Strat and a tune and a pick and beer money. The most important thing to take to a jam night is definitely beer money. Right, so let's run through. I'll stop talking because we all want that. And I'll go through a couple of tones. I'll do some cleaner stuff first. This would be on the green side of the Sheriff preamp. So this is set fairly clean, and there's a 63 spring reverb effect loaded in, so it gives a bit of space to the old sound. So this is the neck pickup. Nothing to moan about there. Not a lot of noise. Plenty of dynamics. Plenty of lows, plenty of highs, plenty of mids. Like that. Very versatile pickup. The reason I've put the single coil actually on position 5 is because when I'm playing on the neck, actually I would spend most of my time in that position, and to be honest, it's just easier to get to. I believe Pete Thorne does the same on his signature stuff, so that's probably where I got the idea from. To be fair, I'm not that imaginative. Neck humbucker. Fairly standard, thicker, a bit more compressed. Nice tone, I like it, it's good. This is where positions in this guitar, positions 3 and 2 are where this pickup wiring absolutely makes sense. So you've got the full bore bridge pickup. You've got your single coil on your neck. You've got your humbucker on your neck. This is where the two inner positions of each pickup sort of shine through. So they're in parallel, so you get that classic Fender 2 and 4 positions in a dual humbucker guitar. I'll put it on a clean tone. So that's the outer coils of each one, and now we have the inners. So the outer ones is a bit thinner because the pickup's further apart, and the effect of the phase cancellation is slightly greater. This is the inner coils. So position 2 is a bit thinner, it's a bit quieter, and position 3, the inner coils are a bit fatter, a bit fuller, but it's still got that quacky classic Strat position 4 tone that we all know and love. I'll do some gain on the bridge because that's obviously the right thing to do. So that is how I've made what I'd consider to be a versatile instrument even more versatile. Something that I'm going to use every jam night, something that's going to sound good every time and inspire me to play every time. And there's a couple of other things that I'm going to do to the guitar. There's already got locking tuners on it, so I don't need to worry about that. I have a Graphtec Tusk nut on there, because I broke the last nut. It's been a bit clumsy, so I had a tech do that for me. Very good of him. And I think I'm going to change the bridge. This is a bit, I don't know, there's a bit of play there. Stays in tune all right, I suppose, but there are better sounding bridges out there. And for not that much money, you know, that's a relatively cheap upgrade. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Might do a new video on that. So yeah, that ends this video for me today. I hope I haven't bored you absolutely rotten. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. Weekend's coming up. Christmas is around the corner, so Merry Christmas to everybody if I don't shoot a video before the 25th, which I probably won't, to be fair. Any questions, ask. I might get round to posting the wiring diagram if any of you guys are indeed interested. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the other side.